So last night, I made a video about Trump and his insults towards Ted Cruz's wife, and really the disposition I had over his campaign in general has been the subject of most of my recent videos. Now, I am not alone in this opposition. I've had other people who have expressed that same type of view, and certainly are more inclined to be vocal about it than I am, just in the realm of public life. Let me put this in a perspective you might understand. While I'm often close to criticizing him online or in social media or just in the context of the internet, I'm very private about my dislike for his campaign, because I would rather be lacking of controversy within my private life. Not to mention that most of the times politics really isn't something that comes up unless I'm actually involved with someone else or just around other people, if that makes any sense. So with that in mind, and again, this is private life as I've just explained, I can't really fathom or understand why he would feel the need to attack another candidate's wife or their spouse or significant other, especially when that person has very rarely, if ever, said anything about him. I actually looked up a number of sources on Heidi Cruz, the wife of Ted Cruz, and the only time she ever spoke about Trump directly was in saying that she was a fan of his show, The Apprentice. Now, we can go and look up that article, we can read her comments any way we want, but the fact remains that she complimented something that he created. And that, to this date, apart from yesterday, was the only thing she had said about him in the past. Now you might ask yourself, why are you bringing that up? Why are you trying to ignite some type of just background check on all of her comments about him? Well, that's exactly why I've ignited that background check. There really, barring that comment, are no types of dialogue she's made about him. The only other thing I could find that she said in relation to him was that the allegations he was making about her husband, that he was not eligible to run for president back in January, were unfounded, and she was correct on that as well, and actually used examples of other candidates who had ran before and were not born in the United States, but regardless were U.S. citizens, and that's a category he falls into whether you agree with his politics or not. On top of all of this, you've had a picture circulating around that, to Trump's credit, he did not create, but to his credit again, he did distribute and retweet on Twitter of a picture of his wife, Melania, and Heidi as well, with a very flattering image of his wife next to Heidi, and just kind of really disturbing picture of her that I'll have to admit is not, it's not of any type of quality. But that's part of the reason why that image was created, to show her as his wife, as this attractive person, and to make Cruz's wife out to be someone that is unattractive and unsightly. Now, on the subject of that picture, of course it's up for interpretation how someone looks. We've all taken our bad images, but the point still stands. That was not created for any purpose other than to smear Cruz's wife. It was an effort by most likely a Trump supporter to boast about his wife, and it really served no purpose other than to continue to project this thing that the only value women have are their appearances. Now, I've also done more research because I'm such a I'm like a detective. I investigate, and Heidi's contributions to her husband's campaign have been very extensive. She's called for him. She's gone out and campaigned by herself, been on the stump giving speeches. Those are things that show the validity that she, and along with most other, if not all women, which is what I believe, have more value than their physical appearance. Now, I think whoever created that image was basically going off of the idea that you look at someone and you know them completely without any type of need for looking at their background. And I think that was completely absurd. I think whoever created it should have it deleted. Their accounts shouldn't be messed with, but I certainly think there should be a reputing of that type of disparaging insinuation that you're only valued to be someone's spouse or to be someone's confidant or just to have any type of meaningful role in a male-dominated society such as America is how you look if you're a woman. If you're a male, such as myself, apparently you can get away with pretty much anything. You can get away with creating images that disparage people based not on their achievements, but again on their physical appearance. You can get away with speaking negatively about women that you don't even know, as Trump's done multiple times since he started his campaign back in June. You can get away with talking about people's past and making them out to be deviants and monsters when you are in fact closer to that than yourself. And there's always going to be those fans who seem to gloss over all that he's done and all that he's enacted. And I encourage anyone who endorses him or supports him, type in loser.com. You'll get an article about him, and it's very telling from a non-biased perspective. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Remember to subscribe and have a good day.